Now it is time for the Missouri 8-Man Football Game of the Week on Missouri 8-Man Football Facebook Live, sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm. For more information on Missouri 8-Man Football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo8Man Football. There you can also find links on schedule, standings, stats, and history. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Now we head to Concordia, Missouri for a top 10 matchup between the number 10 ranked Lockwood Tigers and the number 7 ranked St. Paul Lutheran Saints.
And welcome into Concordia, Missouri for a top 10 matchup between Lockwood and St. Paul Lutheran. Should be a lot of fun here in this one. Lockwood come in today number 10 in the state, while St. Paul Lutheran comes in today at number 7. This is the first time that Lockwood has been ranked in the media poll. This is their first year in Missouri 8-Man football. For St. Paul Lutheran, they were ranked, I think, for a bit or got close last year towards the end of the season. They've been flirting with the top 10 all year here, and they finally got in the top 10 this past couple of weeks, and now have jumped to number 7 in the poll. If you go through St. Paul Lutheran, they're kind of their schedule to get here so far this season. For St. Paul Lutheran this year, they lost to Oregon week 1, 26-20. The next 5 weeks have come away with wins, though: 60-8 over Bramer, a 30-8 win at number 10 ranked Northwest Hughesville at the time, a 52-22 win versus crosstown rival Concordia, beat Keatsville 63-6, and last week versus Santa Fe defeated the Chiefs 54-0. And Santa Fe was averaging, I think, 65 points per game going into that game, and the Saints held them scoreless. For Lockwood, their first year in 8-Man, both these teams actually on 5-game winning streaks. Lockwood, week 1 versus Pierce City, I believe they're counted as an exhibition game on Misha. They did lose that game 32-6, but since they got into their full 8-man schedule, they've got wins ever since. Week 2 against Jasper on a Thursday night, 54-46 in overtime, a heck of a win there for Lockwood in that one. And then the last 4 weeks have been blowouts: 58-0 at Rich Hill, 70-20 versus Appleton City, 59-0 versus Greenfield, and 56-8 against Liberal. Now, the next couple of weeks, they have some tough games with St. Paul Lutheran here, and then Archie on the road next week before end of the year versus Pleasant Hope, who is a JV-only scheduled for an 11-man team playing an 8-man game there in Week 9. For St. Paul Lutheran, they got Lockwood this week, then at Knox County next week, and then home versus number 3 Drexel to end the season. If you look at the captains for both teams, first for St. Paul Lutheran, we have number 34, Ethan Kirby, number 7, Nathan McCage, looks like number 25 as well, Isaac Long, and then number 40, Logan Mueller. And we'll get the Lockwood's captains in here in just a minute. Some other games that we're going to keep an eye on as this day kind of goes on, as I am sharing this link to the broadcast also onto Twitter. So if you guys see that on there, make sure you guys can share that. But it's a beautiful night here in Concordia. Should be a great matchup. I saw both these teams in the summer. I saw Lockwood at the Appleton City team camp back in, I think, late July, and I saw St. Paul Lutheran the next day at Archie's team camp. Both teams looked very impressive in those team camps, and I was really high on both of them going into this year. For both teams, I know St. Paul Lutheran last year was their first year in 8-man football. This is Lockwood's first year as well. So a couple of newbies here in 8-man football, but excited to see the sport kind of travel south a little bit and kind of get everybody involved in the state. It makes the sport a little bit better and a little bit more recognized from around the state as well. Some other games we're going to keep an eye on tonight as we look at the schedule for today. The big one up in Stanberry, number 5 North Shelby at number 1 Stanberry. Another big game we're looking for is Southolt at Mound City is another big game. This is the second biggest game of the weekend, though, with St. Paul Lutheran hosting Lockwood. That's the scores for this weekend. I expect 2, 3, and 6 all take care of business pretty easily. Worth County, Drexel, and King City should all win fairly comfortably, as should Archie and Oric. So this game and the Stanberry game are the two games to really keep an eye on to kind of see how teams kind of shape up. And if you're looking at both these teams and with possible district matchups going forward, Lockwood, they're in district number 1. Right now they're the number 2 seed. And they are looking behind Drexel. They got Archie next week, so it's going to be a big game probably to decide for that number 2 seed for St. Paul Lutheran. They're the 2 seed right now in district number 2. If North Shelby falters and Lutheran get a couple wins here, they might be able to overtake them for that number 1 seed. They got Knox County next week as well, so their fate is kind of in their own hands going forward. But here, Lockwood will receive the opening kickoff here. As the captains for Lockwood, Kane Cooper, Blaine Burleycamp, and Landon Stump were the captains there for Lockwood. Before we get this game started, we're going to take a quick break and look at our sponsor, and then we'll be next with kickoff.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
All right, and now here we are live from Concordia, Missouri, St. Paul Lutheran High School, as we have a top 10 matchup ready to start here. Christian Bobson will kick off for St. Paul Lutheran. Deep for Lockwood, Eli Kerr and Landon Stump. Eli Kerr has been a real force for Lockwood this year. Got to keep an eye on. So far this year, got 11 passing touchdowns, about 500 yards passing, a little over 500 rushing, and also 11 rushing touchdowns. He's got 22 total touchdowns and 1,074 yards on the season. Deep kick here from Bobson, and it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback, taken by Kerr there, but Lockwood will start at their own 15-yard line. All right, here we go for the first play of the game. Eli Kerr will be the quarterback, Stump the tailback. Three-man line for Lutheran, including two of their better players, Christian Anderson and Ethan Kirby. Handoff up the middle and nowhere to go for Stump as he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, may have lost a yard.
Number 5, Landon Stump on the carry, stop at number 65,
Hunter Liederman there with the stop for St. Paul Lutheran. Playing at nose tackle today. Some of the linebackers there for St. Paul Lutheran. In the middle, you have Maggart and Mueller, to also their tailbacks on offense. Maggart, a very physical player there in the middle for St. Paul Lutheran. I think he's top 3 in the state in tackles this season. 4 wide here for Lockwood, and looks like Lutheran's going man-to-man on the outside. Kerr, back to pass. He's under some pressure, avoids Kirby, and Anderson as well, and gets pushed out of bounds finally near the far sideline. Andrew Keek there on the stop. Nice little run there from Kerr to get away from the pass rush. If you see St. Paul Lutheran, they got a really good-sized defensive line there with Kirby, Liederman, and Anderson there across the defensive line. You can also see Peyton Woods out there on defense, number 28, and also Andrew Keek, who made that tackle there to push Kerr out of bounds. Lockwood, a little bit of a equipment mishap with one of their linemen, but they get him a helmet and get the game going back up here again as they reset the play clock. Might have been Buster Spinks there with the helmet issue. I couldn't quite tell with the number there. Either Spinks or Blake Cousins. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Little option play. Kerr's going to keep it himself, and Christian Anderson, first man there. Christian Anderson leads the state in tackles for loss this season. Look at Christian Anderson. He has 58 tackles coming in today, 21 tackles for loss. One of the better defensive linemen in the state of Missouri. But here comes a punt attempt for Lockwood. High snap. Does get it off. It's a block. Maggart's going to recover it. And he's going to try to outrun the defense to the edge. He's going to get a block here up to the sideline at the 10, the 5, and pushed out of bounds. Touchdown saving tackle by Nick Tyman. Heads up play there by Maggart to catch the punt and take it inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for St. Paul Lutheran. I couldn't tell if that was partially blocked or just kind of a clunker off the foot. I couldn't quite tell there from my angle. And we do have a penalty against St. Paul Lutheran on the return. So when Maggart reverse field there, got a block in the back. So they're going to bring it out to around the 31-yard line for St. Paul Lutheran. Still really good field position for the Saints.
Ball will be placed on the 31-yard line of Lockwood. First and 10, St. Paul.
Update from Stanberry North Shelby. Stanberry goes 3 and out to start the game. Also, Rockport up 8-0 on Southwest Livingston. Here we go, T formation for St. Paul. Handoff off the right side for Mueller. He's going to gain a couple before getting taken down by a couple of Tigers. First man there was Cale McMillan for Lockwood. He was helped out by Blaine Burleycamp. Quick update also, Jasper is up 8-0 on Rich Hill. Again, T formation, one receiver split out to the right. And we have a penalty flag there before Isaac Long can get the carry. Offsides against Lockwood. Be a 5-yard penalty, make it second down and short for St. Paul Lutheran. As Long and Mueller are the tailbacks for Lutheran. Long number 25, Mueller number 40. Bobson under center. Long with the carry off the right side. He's going to be stuffed in the backfield. Well played by Lockwood. Landon Stump, the senior for Lockwood, comes out there and nullifies that play. Lockwood's got plenty of speed there on the football field. It's one thing I noticed whenever I was watching them over the summer. They got plenty of speed there on the football field. 3rd down and 7 after a loss about 3 or 4. You have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kirby all by himself on the left side. And we have a quick penalty here. Couldn't tell if Lutheran moved first or Lockwood. They do get Lockwood another offside penalty. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, bring it up 3rd down and 2. And up in Stanberry North Shelby, they both go 3 and out. Anthony's loving the defensive showdown up there. Quick pass out to Kirby on the right side. On the left side, he's going to take the catch and have enough for a first down. Still moving and finally brought down by a couple of Tigers inside the 20-yard line. I think Kane Cooper was the first man there on the stop for Lockwood. As you saw there with Lockwood, they were playing about 5 to 10 yards off there. On 3rd and 2, gave Kirby time to catch the ball and then get upfield for a first down. Kirby in tight on the right side now. T formation with Mueller and Long. Mueller, carry off the right side, picks up a good block, gets in the open field, and he's going to get chopped down near the 10-yard line. Good tackle by Eli Kerr. Been a well-played football game so far. 8:30 to go in the first quarter. It is 0-0 still between Lockwood and St. Paul Lutheran. T formation again here, both tight ends and Bobson back to pass. He's going to throw it late. Going to have Isaac Long. He's going to be into the end zone for a touchdown. Heads up play by Christian Bobson as Landon Stump had him wrapped up. He's able to get the ball off to Isaac Long for a touchdown. And just like that, St. Paul Lutheran goes up 6-0 against Lockwood. Good drive there for the Saints. A little swing and gate opportunity here for St. Paul Lutheran. Bobson in the shotgun with Maggart. Bobson keeping himself off the left side, gets a block from Maggart, and he is going to walk into the end zone for 2. 8-0 St. Paul Lutheran. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have more football here on Missouri 8-Man Football Facebook Live.
Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man Football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man Football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man Football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As we're back here in Concordia, 31-yard drive for St. Paul Lutheran ends in a touchdown. Bobson to Long. 2-point conversion good for Bobson. As Bobson going to kick off here for the Saints. Going to be a squib kick taken by Stump inside the 5. Stump's going to keep himself on the fake reverse off the right side into the open field, and he's going to get taken down out of bounds. Touchdown saving tackle by Jaden Maggart as it gets up to around the 33-yard line. Thank you to Janet Bierman and Debbie Broyles for watching. As there is 7:55 to go in the first quarter. Shotgun here for Lockwood. Kerr fakes the handoff and keeping himself off the left side in the open field. Get brought down finally by Peyton Woods. Bounce gets some almost first down yardage. Isaac Long also there on the stop for St. Paul Lutheran. And it will be a first down run for Eli Kerr. Now, Eli Kerr, one of the kind of overlooked players in the state right now. I know that Lockwood's kind of new to the state, but he's put up some big numbers this year in Lockwood's first year in 8-man football, and they're really leaning on him. His first start at quarterback was week 2 versus Jasper, and he led him to an overtime win versus a really solid Jasper team. Landon Stump carrying off the right side. He into the open field to the 20. Steps over man at the 15 and finally taken down. Down to the 12-yard line. Keek on the stop for St. Paul Lutheran. As 7:24 to go in the first quarter. And it's 8-0 St. Paul, but Lockwood driving here on their second drive of the game. Kerr going to hand it off up the middle and nowhere to go. Christian Anderson, I believe. Yes, it is. Christian Anderson on the stop. Tim Close watching from Wisconsin. Thank you for watching, Tim. No gain on the play on that run for Lockwood. So now we got a shotgun again here for Lockwood. One receiver split out to the right. Kerr takes the snap, going to keep himself off the right side. Kirby almost had him, and then Christian Anderson cleans it up. Christian Anderson, a really good player. I've been really excited to watch him play this year after seeing the numbers he's put up so far, and it's not just for show, folks. He's a very good football player there on the defensive end. Ethan Kirby slowing down Kerr just enough for him to help clean it up from the opposite defensive end spot. Third down, about 13 or 14 coming up here for Lockwood. Just under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter, 8-0 St. Paul Lutheran. Lockwood driving, though, I formation for the Tigers. Kerr under center. Kerr back to pass, looking to throw, looking deep. It's going to be almost caught. Kane Cooper couldn't quite bring it down. The big man trying to high point it. Kane Cooper around 6'4", 6'5". Really tall receiver there for Lockwood, just couldn't quite bring in that pass. Now it's fourth down and long for Lockwood. Also an update, Nottoway Valley up 8-0 over Bishop LeBlond. A score we will keep an eye on as this game kind of goes on. It's homecoming there for the Thunder of Nottoway Valley. Handoff to Stump. Off the right side, he's going to gain a few, but not enough for a first down. He's going to stop around the 10-yard line. And it'll be a turnover on down, St. Paul Lutheran ball. So a good stop there for the Saints on defense. And we're about 5.5 to go in this first quarter. And St. Paul Lutheran up 8-0 after a couple of defensive stops. Second drive of the game coming up for St. Paul Lutheran. They're going to have Kirby split out far to the right side. Receiver split out to the left. Bob's in the shotgun. Fumbled the snap. He's going to go down inside the 5. And the clock's going to keep running here. 5:30 now on the clock.
Loss of 6 on the play will bring up 2nd and 16.
Second down and 16 coming up now for St. Paul Lutheran. Gonna have Maggart in the slot here on the right side. Bob's in the shotgun. Quick pitch out to the outside to Keek. He's gonna make the catch and then get stopped. Stump and Cooper there on the stop. Mainly just Stump there on the tackle for Lockwood.
Tackled by number 3.
Andrew Keek on the stop, on the reception.
3rd and 15.
Third down and long coming for St. Paul Lutheran. Lockwood needs a stop here on defense to get the ball back with good field position. We'll see what St. Paul does here. One receiver split out to the left. T formation. Bobson takes a snap. Maggart off the left side. Looking to cut back. Get on the left side. Going to be finally brought down across the first down marker. Jaden Maggart with a hard run and gets enough for a first down across the 20. Third down and 15 or so, and Maggart is able to gain about 16, 17 yards across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line. And Jaden Maggart's one of the kids I saw there at that team camp up in Appleton in July, where I was really impressed with his physicality and how hard he was running the football. I knew they had Logan Mueller coming back. Mueller and Bobson were not at that team camp, but St. Paul Lutheran still looked very impressive in that camp, and they're showing it tonight as well. Bobson keeping himself, gets a couple of cuts, can open the field, and he's going to be finally wrapped up and brought down by a couple of Tigers. Nick Timon, the first man there. Helping him clean up the pile is Logan Wells. As they're up to the 35-yard line, a couple of runs here for St. Paul Lutheran has them near midfield. Keek split out to the right, T formation, Bobson under center. Hand off to Maggart off the left side. He's going to step on a man, get across midfield to the 35 and get chopped down by Eli Kerr. They get across the 30 though, down to the Lockwood about 28, 27-yard line. Maggart kind of showing his value here in the running game this drive as he's running hard. Maggart only a sophomore, but he's built like a really mature junior or senior right now. He's a very stout kid. 3:15 to go in this first quarter. Bobson, back to pass, under pressure. Ball pops out. There's a fumble. There's a loose ball for it. I believe Christian Anderson fell on it for St. Paul Lutheran. Big play there by Landon Stump to force the fumble. As kind of a delayed linebacker blitz there for Lockwood. Gets Christian Bobson down. Ball popped out, but Lutheran lucky to fall on that one. Second down at about 15 coming up for the Saints. 2:49 to go in this first quarter. T formation again. Hand off Mueller off the left side, a little counter play. Gets to the 25-yard line or so before he gets brought down near the 23. Kane Cooper on the stop for Lockwood. Another update. North Andrew leading Albany 8-6. T formation again for Lutheran. Hand off to Maggart. Off the right side. And he's going to have enough for a first down and stay in bounds. And kind of get pushed out near the 15. And that'll be enough for a first down and then some. Needed about the 18-yard line. So 1st and 10 coming up again for St. Paul Lutheran. 2:05 to go in the first quarter. St. Paul Lutheran. T formation, Keek split out to the left. And they reset the play clock here for St. Paul. See on the far right of your screen, 20 seconds on the play clock. Under center is Bobson. Play action pass. Bobson back to pass. Ball's loose. And the ball is still loose. Picked up by Christian Anderson for St. Paul Lutheran. He's going to run for it. And he's going to get down to about the 10-yard line. That ball popped up in the air, and I can't believe that it fell into one of the St. Paul Lutheran hands because there were about 3 Tigers there around the football when it popped up in the air. That's the second time Bobson's fumbled on a backside hit by Landon Stump. So heck of a run there for Christian Anderson to get him in the stats for the year. That's a lineman's dream right there to pick up a loose ball. But 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Maggart's in the slot on the right side. High snap. Bobson is going to have to recover it all the way back around the zone, about on the 30-yard line or so. They're going to mark it at the 32. So between a fumble there that gave him some good yardage and a high snap, kind of a struggling 2 plays there for St. Paul's offense. 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Been a fast-moving first quarter. So 3rd down and about 25 or so coming for St. Paul. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lockwood looking to possibly blitz here on this 3rd and long. They're actually going to play coverage. Only 2 guys. Bobson back to pass, and he's going to be stopped and brought down. First man on the stop there for Lockwood, Cayman Cooper.
Christian keeps it, gets out a couple yards.
Gets up to around the 30. So gain of 2 on the play. Good job by Lockwood to kind of contain the mobile quarterback. It's 8-0 St. Paul Lutheran in this one over Lockwood. And that will be the end of the first quarter. So end of 1, St. Paul Lutheran 8, Lockwood 0. Take a quick timeout. We can come back. We'll have the second quarter action come up next.
WC Mary.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you. Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As we're back here in Concordia, Missouri, 8-0 lead for St. Paul Lutheran going to the second quarter. Thank you to Heather McDonald Troth watching from Kentucky. Thank you for tuning in from Kentucky. So we got Kentucky and Wisconsin on the broadcast tonight. This year we've had, I think, Wyoming, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Alabama. So a few team parents and family friends watching from across the country. Always kind of cool to see there on the Missouri 8-Man Football Facebook Live. But here, start of the second quarter, 8-0 St. Paul Lutheran, a 4th down and forever coming up here, 4th and 23. Bobson, back to pass, looking deep, left side for Kirby. It's going to be caught, touchdown! Touchdown, Ethan Kirby. That's a 30-yard touchdown on 4th and 23 as Kirby gets behind the defense on a 4th and long. And Justina Mueller says, watching from Japan. Thank you for tuning in all the way across the world there. Thank you for tuning in. A little swing and gate action here again for St. Paul Lutheran. Last time they had a quarterback keeper off the left side. We'll see what they decide to do this time. Maggarts. He's going to take the handoff, and he's going to be hitting the backfield. Still moving, still running. Is going to bring a couple of tackles, and Jaden Maggart just running through the defense. And another 2-point conversion is good for St. Paul Lutheran. The 16-0. We'll come back in the second half for the net kickoff coming up next.
Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As we're back here in Concordia, 16-0 lead for St. Paul Lutheran. A couple updates. Southolt and Mound City tied at 8. Jasper leads Rich Hill 8-0 after the first quarter. Here it's 18-0. And Stanbury North Shelby tied at 0 after one. And Drexel up 14-0 on Greenfield. But here Bobson kicking it deep, and that's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 coming up for Lockwood. So 15-yard line here. Now Kristen Mueller says she's tuning in from St. Louis. Shout out to my Cardinals making the playoffs. Didn't quite go the way they wanted versus the Dodgers, but still a good season there, making the playoffs there in the late push. And here's the first play of the drive for Lockwood. And the first quarter also North Andrew leading Albany 16-6. Handoff off the left side. Ball comes loose, and Lockwood's going to recover it. Logan Mueller came flying in there and forcing the fumble. Cameron Burton with recovery for Lockwood. St. Paul Lutheran right now kind of owning the line of scrimmage on defense, with Kirby and Anderson just wrecking havoc with Lederman as well. So it'll be 2nd down and long coming up for Lockwood. End of the first quarter, Rockport leading Southwest Livingston 20-0. Kerr back to pass. Gonna step up in the pocket, looking deep. He has a man at stump, and incomplete. Mueller there on the coverage, but he had a step and just dropped the pass. That would have got him all the way up to near midfield. So 3rd down and long coming up for Lockwood. Update in North Shelby versus Stanbury. North Shelby got into the 20-yard line, but turned it over on downs. Still 0-0 early second quarter in that one. Southolt Mound City tied 8 in the second quarter as well. But here, 16-0 St. Paul Lutheran. 2 receivers to each side for the Tigers. Kerr, back to pass, a little tunnel screen across the middle. He's going to be in the open field. He's going to finally get brought down by Maggart across the 20. Nash McGuire on the reception for Lockwood. As McGuire in the year coming in today had 5 receptions for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another reception there brings up a 4th down and about 4 for Lockwood. Maybe a long 3 or a short 4. As Lockwood looks like they're in punt formation. No one back for St. Paul. Actually, it's going to be a play. Kerr got pitched out to the outside for Stump. Stump still running through guys. He's going to have enough for a 1st down before Isaac Long doesn't bring him down. Open field to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 15, 10, 5. And he's going to be into the end zone for a touchdown. What a run by Landon Stump. That's going to go on the highlights this week, folks. About 33 minutes into this game, I try to remember that to cut that for Twitter. That's a heck of a run there for Landon Stump, the senior tailback for Lockwood on a 4th and 4 where they really needed it. Sheila Kreisel watching from Sweet Springs, Missouri, saying go Saints. As 16-6 now, St. Paul over Lockwood. 2-point try is really important here for Lockwood to keep this a 1-score game, or make it a 1-score game. And it's going to be kept and no good. Ethan Kirby's going to bring the tailback, hold on to him, and bring him back. Got to about the 1-yard line. Stump with the carry. So the 2-point try is no good. As Debbie Potter-Broyle says yes on the Facebook Live. Thanks for watching, Debbie. As we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Lockwood's kickoff coming up next.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
As we get ready for Lockwood's kickoff here, It's 16-6, St. Paul Lutheran over Lockwood. Update, Rockport and Southwest Livingston is now 20-8, Rockport, second quarter. After a touchdown run for the Wildcats of Southwest Livingston, defending state champs. Having a difficult season this year, but trying to rebound. North Andrew up 16-12 on Albany, second quarter in that game as well. So a couple of big games happening in the GRC. That's a game's also very important for seeding in that district number 4. That's a very tight contested district. A couple of big games there with South Holt also playing Mound City. A couple of games that are important there as well. Joe Fox saying go Lockwood on the Facebook Live. Thank you for watching, Joe. Cooper to kick off here for Lockwood. Be a high kick, taken around the 12-yard line. As Peyton Woods with the run back. Ball came out late, and they're going to say the ball came out. It looked like his knee was possibly down there, but ball's going to pop forward and recovered by St. Paul Lutheran near the 37-yard line. So the fumble actually ends up gaining St. Paul Lutheran some yards. So 1st and 10 coming up for St. Paul Lutheran. So 1st and 10 coming up for the Saints at their own 37-yard line. Bobson keeps it himself off the left side, gets in the open field, gets a block from Maggart, curves across and get it taken down in the open field. Touchdown saving tackle by Landon Stump for Lockwood. He gets to the Lockwood 29-yard line. Another big run there for St. Paul Lutheran. Another great block there by Jaden Maggart. He's done a great job either whether it's running the ball or leading the way for his teammates. He's had some really great blocks here in this one. T formation here for St. Paul Lutheran. Bobson, quick pass out to the left side is going to be caught for a short gain. Gertz with the reception for St. Paul. Gertz was the starting quarterback last year. They moved him to in this year with Bobson at quarterback. Second down, about 7 coming up for St. Paul. T formation for the Saints. Hand off to Maggart, off the left side, going to cut up the field. And he's got to shimmy a guy down to the 5 and in the end zone for a touchdown. Jaden Maggart, another touchdown for the Saints. As Maggart has some power, but also a little shiftiness in his running style as well. We're 8:52 to go in this first half. In Lockwood, now trailing 22-8 to St. Paul Lutheran. 2-point try incoming here for St. Paul. Swinging gate again here for St. Paul. Seen Maggart and Bobson both score on this. Now the pass to the center, and Christian Anderson's going to make the reception. They've scored in all 3 ways there in the swinging gate, and now St. Paul Lutheran up 24-6. And this one will be kickoff coming up next.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
And we're back here ready for the kickoff coming from St. Paul Lutheran. The touchdown run by Jaden Maggart and the 2-point drive. Some conversion good from Bobson to the center, Christian Anderson. Also an update, Northland Christian down 20-0 to Care Paravel, came from Kansas. Update, Nottoway Valley and LeBlanc now tied at 8 apiece. As Bob's going to kick off here for St. Paul Lutheran. It's going to be a booming kick and be enough for a touchback. 1st and 10 come up here for Lockwood. As Janet Bierman says, go Saints. And Patty Heerman says, watching from Indianapolis. So thank you guys for tuning in on tonight's broadcast. Also an update down south, Jasper leading Rich Hill 16-0. Here comes Lockwood here on offense. Last drive, they scored on a 4th and 3 on a heck of a run by Landon Stump. And here they're going to go a little spread. Kerr, quick pass out to the outside. Pass is going to be caught and brought down by Woods. Eggerman with the reception for Lockwood. Now Stanberg got the ball inside the 15-yard line against North Shelby and turned it over on down. So still 0-0 in that game. Mount City now up 14-8 on South Holt in that Holt County showdown. 2 receivers each side, and we have a stoppage here. Thank you, Donnie Sparks, saying Saints kicking the center's butts. I'm not sure about that one, but false start here against Lockwood.
False start against Lockwood. We'll make it 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10 coming up here for Lockwood and the Tigers. As Drexel now up 29-0 on Greenfield. No surprise in that one. Drexel, number 3 in the state, taking it to Greenfield. But here, shotgun for Lockwood, 2nd down and 10. Kerr, back to pass. Now he's going to be brought down the backfield and sacked. Anderson and Lederman on the stop for St. Paul Lutheran.
Kerr sacked by the defensive line for the Saints. Anderson, Lederman, and Kirby. He's up 3rd and long.
3rd down and long coming up now for Lockwood. As this D line is kind of making things difficult for Lockwood on offense. Back to pass is Kerr. Looking deep. He has a man open and incomplete through the hands of the receiver. Lewandowski with the target there for Lockwood. Just couldn't quite bring in the deep pass on the left sideline. As he had a step on his defender, just couldn't quite bring it down. Lewandowski without a reception on the year. That would have been his first one. It would have been a big one for Lockwood. Another punt coming for the Tigers. And Kane Cooper gets a deep one off. Keek is going to take it at his own about 31-yard line around the left side and finally get brought down by a couple of Tigers near midfield. So good field position again for St. Paul Lutheran as they're up 24-6 and looking to add to their lead before halftime. 7:05 to go in this first half. The Saints up 24-6. Looks like Rockport got a safety against Southwest Livingston, now lead 22-8 in that matchup versus Rockport. T formation, handoff left side for Mueller. Mueller breaks the tackle to the 35, to the 30, to the 20, 15, stays in bounds, the 10, to the 5, and touchdown, St. Paul Lutheran. The refs say he stays in bounds, and Logan Mueller, 1 carry, about 50 yards for a touchdown, about 40 yards for a touchdown for St. Paul Lutheran. They are putting up 30 here in the first half against the Lockwood team that have been rolling to this year coming into this game, but struggling to stop the St. Paul Lutheran offense with that big offensive line. As Bob's in the shotgun, Maggart to his left, Anderson the center, still eligible here on this play. Quick pass out to the left side, the right side to Isaac Long and incomplete.
2-point conversion failed.
As Lockwood read that play well. 2-point try is no good. So we'll have the kickoff coming up next. St. Paul Lutheran 30, Lockwood 6.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
As we are back here, thank you to Zach Masterson saying, let's go LT, bring on some defense. And then Judy Marshall says she's watching from just up the street here in Concordia. So good to see you guys tuning in for the broadcast here. It's a beautiful night for football at the beginning of October. 6:52 to go in the first half. Lutheran leading 30-6 over Lockwood. Bobson is going to boom it away, and it's going to be another touchback. Kid's got a boot on him. Kind of nullifying Lockwood's speed in the return game with the touchback. As Kirby, Anderson, and Lederman come back on the field for St. Paul Lutheran on that defensive line. Maggart and Mueller at the linebacker positions. And you'll have Woods, Long, and Keek also there on defense, playing a little bit of linebacker / coverage responsibilities, depending on how Lockwood lines up. Shotgun for Lockwood. Handoff, right side. Ball came out, and Mueller has it. And St. Paul Lutheran ball, as he got swallowed up in the backfield immediately. There was so much penetration there from St. Paul Lutheran. And Mueller recovers the fumble that I think he forced. It'll be St. Paul Lutheran ball with 6:48 to go in this first half, and they're in complete control of this game at this point. St. Paul Lutheran, one receiver to the left. Bombs under center. Mueller and Maggart in the backfield. Mueller, handoff, left side. Going to get a block from Gertz into the end zone. He's going to go in untouched. Touchdown St. Paul Lutheran, 36-6 over Lockwood. It's been a heck of a first half here for St. Paul Lutheran, offensively and defensively. As you go more of a traditional offense here again, T formation on the 2-point try. Handoff off the right side, Lederman with the carry, and he's going to be in. The lineman's able to get in for the 2-point conversion. St. Paul Lutheran 38, Lockwood 6. Take another timeout. We come back. We'll have the kickoff coming up next.
Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
As we are back, St. Paul Lutheran kickoff again. Bombson is going to boom it deep, and it's going to go another touchback into the end zone. As we'll have a first down and 10 Lockwood from their own 15-yard line. We'll see if the Tigers get anything going offensively here. St. Paul Lutheran's really bottled up Eli Kerr today. The one touchdown on a Landon Stump. Third and fourth extra efforts there on a touchdown run. Update, North Andrew now up on Albany, 32-12, with about 7 minutes to go in that first half. 5:26 to go up at Stanberry. North Shelby still tied at 0. Kerr back to pass, and looks like he tried to throw. The ball popped out, and they're going to call it a fumble. Lederman is going to recover for St. Paul Lutheran. As it looked almost like he tried a pump fake and the ball popped out late. The ref's going to rule that he had it tucked away. I guess the tuck rule implies here. So it'll be a first down for St. Paul Lutheran at the 5-yard line. Another update, Rockport up 30-8 on Southwest Livingston at this point. So Rockport getting back to their winning ways after a couple of rough weeks versus East Atchison and King City. T formation. Quick pass out to the outside is going to be incomplete. As he was looking for Gertz, I believe. Gertz just couldn't quite pull it in. A little bit short. As 6:31 to go in the second quarter, it's 38-6 St. Paul Lutheran. It was 8-0 going into the second quarter, so it's been a 30-point quarter for St. Paul. And they're looking to add on to it here. T formation. Hand up to Long, off the left side. He's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Just following the big offensive line into the end zone. Now 44-6, St. Paul Lutheran.
Isaac Long in the end zone for a touchdown.
So 44-6 now, St. Paul Lutheran over Lockwood. Swing gate again here for St. Paul. Bobson keeping himself off the left side, gets a block from Maggart and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Pancake block for Maggart, springs it in for 2, and that makes it 46-6. St. Paul Lutheran. Take a quick timeout. Coming up next.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
As we are back in Concordia, Missouri, 46-6 lead for St. Paul Lutheran. Lutheran climbed to number 7 in the rankings this week, and are kind of proving that in this game so far with the dominant showing here in the second quarter. It was 8-0 going into this quarter. 38 points so far in this quarter for St. Paul. They lead 46-6 over Lockwood. As I believe we've had 30 punts in the Stanberry-North Shelby game. Bobson kicks it. It's going to be a little bit short. A reverse. Left side to McGuire. McGuire getting to the open field. To the 30, to the 40, trying to cut back. Bobson's going to try to bring him down near the 30-yard line, and he finally does. So heck of a return there for Lockwood. Again, there's athletes out in space. McGuire with the big return. Bobson with a touchdown-saving tackle. According to Anthony, we have a fake punt in the Stanberry-North Shelby game. Sheeber gains 11 on the fake punt. First down for Stanberry. The low-scoring game up there. Almost halftime. South Holt now up 16-14 on Mound City. Heck of a game up there in Holt County. But here, I formation for Lockwood. Handoff, right side. And nowhere to go there for Nash McGuire. Ethan Kirby, the first man there for St. Paul Lutheran. Lederman also there on the stop for St. Paul. Second down and 10 coming up for Lockwood. Shotgun here now for Lockwood. And Stump gets the carry off the outside. He's going to be taken down in the backfield. Heck of a play. Ethan Kirby again with another stop for St. Paul Lutheran. And Kirby's a guy over the offseason. I was talking to Coach Gifford, and he did not get any. I think he was on all district, but not on all conference or vice versa. And he felt like he was one of the better defensive ends in the conference last year and did not get that recognition. So this year, he used a little bit extra fire and a little extra fuel to get there, and he's been really good this season, as is Christian Anderson. St. Paul Lutheran has a couple of better defensive linemen in the state, and honestly, Hunter Lederman there at nose tackle has been very impressive as well for St. Paul Lutheran. Their whole D-line has been playing out very well today. 3 receivers to the left for Lockwood. Kerr, back to pass, chased by Kirby. And he's going to get tripped up, be a short gain for Kerr, but Ethan Kirby, another stop here, 3 straight tackles for Kirby. Fourth and long coming up for Lockwood. LeBlanc just took their first lead of the night, 14-8 over Nottoway Valley. So fourth down and about 14 coming up or so, 14 or 13 for Lockwood from the St. Paul 34-yard line. They get down to about the 21 for a first. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Kerr, back to pass, little tunnel screen across the middle. Is going to be caught by the receiver. Going to get to the 30. Going to cut up field. Going to have another open field stop. And he get close to the first down. I believe he'll have it. It'll be very close to being on the spot. Hank Eggerman with the reception, the sophomore for Lockwood. And it's going to be a first down for Lockwood. I think he got right to the 21, about to the 20.5-yard line. They're going to give him a first down. And I believe he had it. It was a very good, very close spot there for Lockwood, but they were able to convert that 4th and 14. As Lockwood just outside the red zone for the first time tonight. Their one touchdown came on a long run by Landon Stump. Yeah, Stump at fullback, McGuire at tailback, Kerr under center. 3-man in front for St. Paul Lutheran. Handoff. Right side for McGuire. McGuire gets to the 10, to the 5, run over Keek, and down to the 2-yard line. Hard running there for Nash McGuire. Keek's able to bring him down before he gets into the end zone. First and goal coming up here for Lockwood, trying to get back on the board. Another update, Jasper 22, Rich Hill 0. 3:30 to go in this first half. 46-6, St. Paul Lutheran, but Lockwood knocking on the door. High formation again here for Lockwood. Stump. He's going to fake it. Kerr's going to keep it himself for his 23rd touchdown of the year. His 12th rushing touchdown. And Lockwood gets on the board here. 46-12 now. Good decision there for Kerr as he runs a triple option and pulls it out at the last second. He's able to walk into the end zone untouched. Also, Rockport up 38-8 over Southwest Livingston. Kerr keeps it. Going to pitch it out to Stump on the right side. He's going to be hit by Maggart. And no good. He said he was just short of the goal line. Maggart and Keek with the stop for St. Paul Lutheran, just short. All the guys kind of helping each other up there on the sideline. Good sportsmanship all around. With 3:15 to go in the ball game in the first half, it's 46-12. St. Paul Lutheran over Lockwood. Take a quick timeout. When we come back, Lockwood's kickoff coming up next.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
As we're back in Concordia, 46-12 lead for St. Paul Lutheran. Another update, the 5 versus 1 matchup. North Shelby Stanberry. Stanberry gets their first touchdown of the game. Austin Swayback to Tyler Swayback for a 28-yard touchdown. The extra point is good. 2:57 to go in the first half. Stanberry up 7-0. But a fun football game. Also an update, 32-20. North Andrew over Albany. Second quarter still in that one. Cooper to kick off for Lockwood. Squib kick. Ball still loose and be recovered by St. Paul Lutheran. Ian Talo with the recovery. Be 1st and 10 coming up for St. Paul. So 1st and 10 coming up for the Saints with 3:15 to go in this first half. St. Paul Lutheran up comfortably here, 46-12. T formation. Bobson, back to pass, under pressure. Going to escape the pass rush, looking deep, looking for a man. He's got him, and incomplete. Josiah Gertz was the intended receiver. Kane Cooper in coverage there for Lockwood had him. Just let him a little bit too far back into the inside. So we'll bring out a 2nd down and 10 for St. Paul. It is currently 75 degrees here in Concordia. Beautiful night for football here in the beginning of October. Handoff up the middle for Isaac Long. He's going to keep pushing his way near a first down. Based on the official marking here, it looks like it's very close, but they're going to say it's a 3rd down and about 6 inches. So 3rd down and short come up here for St. Paul Lutheran. The way this O-line is played today, you expect them to get a pretty good push here. Now watch the O-line here to see what the line of scrimmage is. It's going to be a pass play, actually. Nope. Bob's going to keep himself. Keeper off the right side. Breaks free and going to get taken down at the 35-yard line of Lockwood by Kane Cooper. But that'll be enough for a first down for St. Paul. Update with 9 minutes to go in King City. It's King City 42, Schuyler County 0. So King City kind of flexing their muscle there versus Schuyler. No big surprise in that one. But here, 1st and 10 from the Lockwood 34-yard line. 2:10 to go in the first half. T formation for St. Paul Lutheran. Bob's keeping himself on the option play, and Lockwood just blows that up too early before they can run anything. Stump and Burleycamp on the stop.
Bobson on the carry, tackled by number 78, Blaine Burleycamp.
So a good stop there for Lockwood
2nd and 11.
as they kind of disrupt the mesh point of the option play and able to get a tackle for loss. Second down and about 12 coming up for St. Paul Lutheran. T formation, one receiver split out to the left is Gertz. Looking deep, he had a double move with Gertz. He's going to catch it. 10, 5, touchdown St. Paul. As a little bit of a fake the quick out, fake the little hitch route, and then go deep with it and finds the receiver for a long touchdown. And St. Paul Lutheran, that's what they were kind of missing from last year. They didn't have as much of a passing game last year, more of just a ground and pound and kind of wear on teams that way. But this year they have a little more of a passing element as well. Gertz out there at receiver. Bobson's a pretty good little passer there for him. Heard he's got a pretty good little baseball arm as well there for St. Paul Lutheran. Little swinging gate again here for St. Paul. Bobson. Quick pass out to Long. Long's going to make the catch. Going to dance around a little bit and towards the goal line, but looks like he's going to be stopped by Lockwood. 2-point try is no good. So it's St. Paul Lutheran 52, Lockwood 12. Take a quick timeout. Be back next.
This broadcast is sponsored by Brian Lopez State Farm in Gladstone, Missouri. For all your auto, home, and life insurance needs, give us a call at 816-678-0749. Tell them Devin sent you.
As we're back here in Concordia, it is 52-12, lead for St. Paul Lutheran with 1:19 to go in this first half. And I remind everybody watching, when halftime hits, I'll go for a couple minutes here, then I'll take a break for about 15, and we'll restart the Facebook Live. So you guys will retune in for the second half. We'll let the equipment kind of charge back up here for the second half, and then be back with you for the second half broadcast. But thank you guys for all tuning in this first half. But Bobson is going to kick it deep again for St. Paul Lutheran. And it's going to be taken by Stump. Reverse to McGuire. McGuire up the sideline to the 30, to the 35, and out of bounds near the 40. Pushed out of bounds by Maggart. McCage also there to help with the kickoff coverage. And an update over in Stanberry. North Shelby scores on a Cale Stoneburner touchdown run. 2-point try was no good, so it was Stanberry 7, North Shelby 6 in that one. But here, 1st down and 10 coming up for Lockwood. I formation. I formation worked well for them last drive. Little option play, going to up the middle for Stump. He's going to keep rumbling and stumbling inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. 1:03 to go in this first half. And they're trying to run the clock here in the second half here. Lockwood getting the play in. 55 seconds to go in this first half. Trying to get some more points here before halftime. I formation again for Lockwood. Little option play. Stump up the middle. He's going to dive forward near the 25-yard line. And it'll be a timeout by Lockwood, and we'll take one with them. So timeout Lockwood. Lutheran up 52-12 with 38.6 seconds to go in this first half.
Thank you for your continued support of Missouri 8-Man football. For more information on Missouri 8-Man football, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mo 8-Man football. There you can find links for all these scores, schedules, standings, stats, individualized team pages, and history of the sport we love. Also, check out our website at Missouri8manfootball.com. Anthony Crane and myself, Devin Albertson, appreciate your support. Now, back to the game.
Again, here it's Lockwood, St. Paul Lutheran. You can see the helmets there on your screen. Lockwood with the black helmet, the white L, and the red T. St. Paul Lutheran with the blue helmet with the red Saints logo on the side. Now they got a white helmet here. They also have some red helmets. They're kind of making the transition to the white face mask from the red face mask. But here we are, 2nd down and 7. 39 seconds to go in the first half. Play action pass. Kerr back to pass. Play action. And Christian Anderson pressuring Kerr. Kerr is going to get it out quickly. McGuire is going to catch the pass. And he's going to get roped down inside the 25, down to about the 23. A lot of running there for about 4 yards. And another timeout from Lockwood. We're going to keep it here, though, as there's 21.3 seconds to go in this first half. Lockwood has 1 timeout remaining. Take a look around the state here to see if we get any more score updates. Not seeing a whole lot right now that I haven't already said here so far. Also, here's one. Platte Valley up on DeKalb, 50-12 at halftime. They're in Platte Valley. The game's over in Barnard. So a good-sized win there for Platte Valley as they look to continue their resurgent season. I think it's going to get them up to 4-3 on the year, if I'm not mistaken, with a win there versus DeKalb. The game's not over yet. But up 50-12, it's pretty likely. Actually, they're 4-2, so trying to get to 5-2 on the season there for Platte Valley. So we'll see what happens here going forward. But here, 3rd down and about 4 coming up for Lockwood. 22 seconds to go in the first half. Kerr looking deep. He has a man. Far sideline. And incomplete, looking for Stump. Peyton Woods in coverage. As Lockwood's had that play a couple times on the left sideline with a man with a step on his defender, just haven't been able to hit on that play so far. So now 13 seconds to go in this first half. 52-12 lead for St. Paul Lutheran. 4th down and about 3 or 4 coming up for Lockwood. Could be Lockwood's last offensive play of the half. Three receivers to the right. It's going to be a quick pass. It's going to be caught. They're going to say it's caught by Lockwood. Eggerman is going to make the reception. 2 receivers each side. 7 seconds on the clock. 6. This might be the last play of the first half. Kerr looking for the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Isaac Long. He's going to try to bring it out here. Last play of the half. And he's going to cut up inside. McGuire is going to bring him down along with the rest of Lockwood's team on the field. And they're going to blow it dead with the forward progress. And that will be the end of the first half. St. Paul Lutheran 52, Lockwood 12. You see St. Paul Lutheran here going into halftime with a commanding lead over Lockwood.
Again, homecoming festivities.
It's been a very impressive showing here for St. Paul Lutheran. As Lockwood waiting for St. Paul to kind of clear there, and they're going to let Lockwood now go into the halftime. As it's 52-12, St. Paul Lutheran over Lockwood. In this one. All right, so let me look around the state real quick at some score updates before we take our break and halftime. See what we got going on here. So not seeing a whole lot of updates. I'll just kind of go through the scoreboard that we have here. And you can see all these links for these scores, schedule, standings, stats, and everything. Missouri 8-Man Football on Facebook and Twitter. The pinned post and the pinned tweet on both of those will have links for everything on there. You can see the scoreboard on the schedule and standings link. We also have a stats link as well. You guys can see that with some history. So some scores from around the state. Right now, South Holt leading Mound City 16-14. That was almost at halftime in that one. Platte Valley leading DeKalb at halftime 50-12. And Rockport up on Southwest Livingston 46-8. In the Grand River Conference, no updates so far on Worth County and Pattonsburg, but Albany and North Andrews with the halftime. North Andrew up 32-26 over Albany. That's a good game there in the GRC. Stanbury, North Shelby in a crossover game. North Shelby down 7-6 in that one at the half, near the halftime. Last update we had there was King City over Schuyler 42-0. In the WeMo, no update from Archie Appleton City or Osceola Liberal, but Jasper leads Rich Hill 22-0. Also, Drexel leading Greenfield 29-0 in an out-of-conference game. Bishop LeBlanc versus Nottoway Valley is 14-8, Nottoway Valley. Another half update just for halftime, Rockport up on Southwest Livingston 54-8. No score update for Santa Fe Hughesville or Norbert Hardin Central or Bramer Concordia. Last one we saw, Paravel up on Northland Christian 20-0. And then St. Joe Christian, St. Mary's Academy, no score update there. No score update from Keatsville and KC East Christian. So that's going to have your scores from around the state. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, I'll remind everybody, the 42 people who are on right now, we will have a second half broadcast coming up here in just a minute. We're going to let them do their homecoming stuff here with St. Paul Lutheran. So we'll have a little bit of extended halftime. So come back in about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll have the second half broadcast up and going. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.